So yesterday we talked a little bit about variables. Today we are going to dive deeper into variables, get to know how we can write proper codes with variables. But then before that, let move back to our syntax. So yesterday we got to find out how we can be able to go about basic things that we need to know with our Python. So yesterday we looked at the indentation. We also looked at the various variables that we can, that was just a rushed, something that we rushed into it. So today, our main purpose, back still, we are going to look at how to comment, still with the syntax. First of all, we are looking at how to comment our work, okay? Just like any other programming languages, it is very wise for you to give a comment to your source code. It is very, very important, and it is very wise for you to do that. So, for instance, if I want to comment this first line, okay, what I need to do is just put in a hashtag over here. Now, oh, sorry, because I highlighted it. Now, this hashtag will turn everything over here into a comment. And this is very, very useful when you have plenty line of codes. Commenting your work actually helps you, and it gives you the opportunity to be able to remind yourself in the near future about what you wrote some years back. So that is the commenting for you. All right. But there's one trick. What if you have about 100 line of code, 100 line of codes? Are you going to put down hash in front of all these lines of code? Sorry, I was just taking in water. So the answer is no. One of the tricks that I want us to notice over, first of all, let me copy it. Let me make a duplicate of all these codes, So let's assume that we are supposed to have these plenty line of codes, and we are supposed to comment them. Okay, so ideally we can just put hash in front of all of them to make them comment. But then one of the things that I want to point out over here is that when you talk about strings, as we looked at yesterday, we know that we are talking about the quotation marks, right? But then Python also neglect 3 quotation marks. In fact, it takes them to be as a comment. So for instance, if I should bring out 3, now I have 3 quotation marks, right? 4, right? Okay, so it's supposed to be 3 or more. So since I have 1, 2, 3 over here, now it turns my whole line. You see, all my codes now turn to a comment. So we use this one if you want to comment about 100 lines of code. You just have to use the 3 quotation marks over there. I don't know if you are okay. I don't know if you can hear me and you're okay. If you have any question, you can bring it. If not, then let's continue. Are you okay?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is for the commenting aspect. Okay. So basically, you can use the simple hash, or you can use the triple of more code for your work. All right. So that is for the commenting aspect. Okay. Now, quickly, let's look at variables. Variables. Yesterday we just brushed through what the variables are, and we said that they are containers that we store data, and whether the data that we are storing is a text, whether it's a string, whether it's whatever. So what is important is we getting our container ready. Okay, so let's rub everything and move. Let's start afresh. Should I zoom in my code, or is it okay for you guys? Okay, I assume that it's okay for all of us. So first of all, the first thing that we have to learn is how to declare our variables. It's very, very important. How to declare variables is very, very important. So the first thing I want to bring to our notice is in Python you don't need to use any other thing. What you need is the name of your variable. Okay, so for instance, I can just put out, let's say, Zillion or Z, let's say ZITS to be my variable. Now, to assign a data to a variable, you need the equal sign. Now, whenever you bring this equal sign, now this is what you mean. You are telling you are now telling the Python that anytime you see ZITS, it should represent ZITS with the content of it. So actually, we can store in a string, numbers. Numbers we are talking about integers or decimals and the rest. So we let's go step by step. Okay, so whenever you see ZITS, we should be looking at let's say coffee, KOFI, coffee, or coffee. Okay. Now, so we have our variable ZITS as our variable, and the data that ZITS is holding is coffee. So one of the ways that we can output this thing is just by typing print. Okay, bring your bracket, then the name of your variable. So ZITS is my variable. Okay, so quickly let's run it over here and see what our code has. Now you can all see from the down here from our console that we have the output coffee to be our output. What it means is that we are just outputting the content of our variable, and which is what coffee. So wherever you see Z, we are saying that we are looking at coffee. I don't know if you guys are following. You are following. All right. So quickly, I want all of you to create a variable wherever you are with your PyCharm open. Create a variable and use this method to output it. I don't know if you can all hear me. First of all, if you have any question, let me hear you now before we move on to the little exercise. Okay. Questions? They're saying that wherever you see virus, we just want to put a coronavirus. All right, and let's output it. Print corona, print virus. All right, I need all of us to do this thing right now, wherever we are, in order not to make the section boring. Oh, Eunice has finally joined. I don't know if all of you can hear me. I need you to just do this quick exercise wherever you are. I need you guys to quickly do this. Um, that is one way of displaying. That is one way of displaying of variable. Okay. Okay. Now let go to. Now let's dive deeper into variables. Okay. Now let's see. Another thing that we can also do with variables is that we call something I call it addition. Okay, adding two or more things together. Some people call it some some weird name, but then what it means is that you can use the addition sign to add variables and the rest. So let's see. Let's play a simple trick over here. So let's try something simple. So imagine just like what you did yesterday. Imagine you have having a paragraph. Okay, let's say myself something small. So saying a print tell me your father's name. Okay, something like that. Print how old is your father? Okay, your father a nice man? I'm just writing anything. Okay, I'm just writing anything. Okay, last one. Name. Sorry. Okay. So imagine you are having, let's say, this line of this something like this, and they ask you to, let's say you're having 500 line of codes with plenty yeah, thank you very much for that concatenation. Yeah, concatenation, that is very, very important. All right, thank you. So imagine you have this plenty line of codes, let's say about 500 of these, with fathers and names, with some of these keywords appearing in it. And let's say they tell you that there is an error, that you have to really change the names, whenever you see father, replace it with something else, especially, something similar. I know we have been through some of these things, especially when you are going through your project work, especially with the documentation, and you forget something, that wherever you see, let's say, father, you need to replace it with something else. We can simply use the find and replace um, option or a tool in Microsoft Word, and that is a perfect example. That program works perfectly well. Okay, so what you are going to do is that we are learning ways it means that we can pass on a variable. So we have looked at the one way, the normal one, that is the simple one. And now let's assume that you have plenty line of codes and strings or sentences that you need to change. The father, wherever you see father, all right, you need to change them. So maybe your father name or your father's name, any other thing. So wherever you see father, you need to change them. Wherever you see name, we need to replace that. Okay, so basically what we can do is that we can say that f name, I'm just using f name to be my variable, and I'm going to say that f name should be equal to who crash should I use, Nana. All right, come down, then I'm talking about f age. Now I'm saying that age, we, we can just put down just a number here. All right, it won't give us any error, but we'll get there when we get to how to use numbers and go around numbers in our Python. We'll dive deeper into that. So for now, let you use the quotation marks. Okay, so let's say 78. All right, now if you should run this one, nothing will happen, just our print statement, all these things will be printed over there. Now let's see how we can affect these changes. Okay, wherever you see the father's name should be Nana and the age should be 78. Okay, so the basic thing we can do is that tell me your father name or your father's name. Okay, so we are going to now end this place, bring in our that quotation mark, and we replace the father name with our variable name, that is going to be our f name. All right, okay, so then you bring our plus sign. Okay, all right, so we can even choose to eliminate the name. Tell me Nana's name or anything nice. So then you bring our quotation back. So tell me the father's name, that is Nana. Put down. All right. Now, another thing that we can also do over here is how old is your father? How old is your father? So that place we are talking about age. So the whole idea is wherever you see the age where this thing needs to come in, you just put down the content of that particular variable. Okay, so this is something that I just, it came out from my head. So obviously you're not going to get the sentence and everything perfect. All right. Age, F name should come. I'm going to rub this one. Yes. Okay. So is your father a nice man? So is your nana a nice man? I'm going to rub this one. I'll just see your F name. Okay. I think we are getting there. All right. Okay. So I think this one will do the trick. This one will help us get the whole idea. Sorry. Okay. So tell me your nana. All right, let me put space here. So tell me your nana. How old is your nana? Is your nana a nice man? All right. So you get to find out that wherever we see the F name, F name, F name, we are getting nana over there. So that is one of the ways that you can also pass out a variable, okay, by using this particular method, which is very, very important. Which is very, very important. So this is one of the ways, okay. So in spite of that, we can also put down something like let's say first name. So first name should be Emmanuel. Say Emmanuel. Let's say age. We are looking at 100 years. Okay, so now I'm going to write a simple statement like my name is, and I'm just going to bring that is the F name. Right? I'll bring this one. Then I'll bring my and my age is, oh, it's crazy, man. I have 10 minutes. And my age is, then I'm going to bring out my age. Okay. All right. So the moment you write this, the moment we run this program, my name is Emmanuel and my age is, let me bring space here. Okay. And my name is Emmanuel and my age is 100. So now let's see what happens if I modify the Emmanuel to Kwame. Let's see what happens to our program. So my name is Kwame and my age is 100. Now what happens is if we have 100 line of codes which talks about our name and our age, we don't need to edit all of them one after the other, one after the other. What we need to do is just tackle the variables, the variables, I mean the content of it, and everything in it will change. This is one of the cool features that in the near future, when we are done, when we get to where we are going to accept input from user, we can use this feature to even create a game, do a lot of stuff on our own. It is very, very wonderful to get to find one of the ways to do something like this. Okay, now before I move on, I don't know if any one of you is having a question for me. Please, do you have a question?
Actually, for me now,
With strings, don't forget that we are still with variables we are still with variables. Now let's move quickly with strings. Now let's assume, you see, let's assume that I want to write something like let's see something. Print so I want to write something like what's your father's name? Your father's name. So okay. So I want to write something like what's your father's name? Okay. Now there are certain things that sometimes we want to even include our quote, the double quote in our work. Okay. So one of the easiest way to do that is by using the backslash. Okay. So when I use this one, I can just bring my double quote in it. It's going to allow me to use that one in my sentence. All right. So in case when you're writing a code and want to use the double quote in your program, first of all, you need to use I don't know whether backslash, then you bring it. All right. Another thing is that we can also use, there's so many importance of this backslash. Another thing is that we can just use backslash plus n. And what happens is what is your will be on one line, father's name is going to be on a different line altogether. So this works like a break in HTML. So what your is going to be on one line and the rest will be on the other line. In fact, this also works in C++ and other programming languages. So it's something cool that you can basically look at. All right. So now, since we are working with strings, another thing that I want to also remind ourselves on is about how to display, how to, just like the way we write variables, we can just use that. And I've also talked about the plus sign, okay? And quickly, let me talk about functions over here. Functions are very, very important. And I'm going to spend a lot of time here. I have 5 minutes for the meetings to end for the first session. I'm going to spend a lot of time here. All right. So have you ever thought about what happens if, I don't know if anybody knows the difference between an operating system and an application software. If you can tell me the difference between them, then it means you understanding functions won't be a problem. I don't know if anybody else knows the difference between an operating system and an application software.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm listening. You can tell us.
Oh, okay. Um, Application software. There are softwares which, okay, let me say there are instructions which something like we enter and operating softwares they are. Hey, I'm confused. Just like
It's okay, my brother.
Hey, Yahoo!
Okay.
Yahoo!
I think the application softwares are meant to run on an OS, that's the operating systems.
Okay, so I think
That's a small idea.
yeah, I think all of you have the idea. But what I was looking for is that application software are run to run specific, instructions.
Yeah.
We run Microsoft Office, for specific thing. I don't know if you understand. So in the same way, um, functions, we run functions to, to perform a specific task. Let me put it that way. Okay. So for instance, when you are typing something in Microsoft Word and you highlight the whole sentence, there is a caps over there. There is a option when you click on the caps side, it's going to turn all your words into capital letters. And there's one that when you click on it, it's going to turn all your words or your sentence into small letters. And All these things are functions, okay? And of course, just like Python, Python is having built-in functions. In fact, the truth is there are many. We have 1 billion functions in this world, Python. And trust me, as we go on, as the years evolves and the rest, we are going to have billions and billions of functions. We can check, functions or methods in Python later when you are free. You can check. There are so many built-in functions in Python. We have ABS. That's when we get to um, the mathematics side. All right, Kwesi, talk to me.
Back to the OS and the application software. It's rather the application software that performs a specific function.
Yeah.
And the
OS.
application software performs as yes, and the OS how will I say it? It combines with the user interface. It helps you interact with the client, and the application software rather performs a specific function.
Yes.
I was just googling it right now.
Yeah. Thank you. So I think I explained it earlier on, or
Yeah.
So thank you for that. So specific. So that's what I was actually saying. We have so many functions that when we run, we can perform specific function. And one of the basic one, and I think all of us, we have done that with Microsoft Word, is the one that turns everything that you have written into a lower caps or into a capital letters. That is one of the basic things. I know all of us, we have used that function before. All right, so we have less than a minute for now, so we are going to pause for just 5 minutes, and we'll come back and finish for this morning session. Kwesi, is your hand still up, or you forgot to lower your hand?
I forgot to lower it.